Today I'm going to give you guys my take on Charles Oliveira taking on Arman Tsarukyan for the BMF title. Now, this is only rumored for UFC 331, which in my opinion is already a better fight card than UFC 330, headlined by Ian Gary and Islam Makhachev, which is a 10-fight card and is quite honestly the worst pay-per-view numbered event that I've ever laid my fucking eyes upon. So I'm already not in the greatest mood because of that. Hopefully Michael Morales swoops in and saves the day. Can we please get like Carlos Prates on that card? It is straight trash. However, expect some superstar matchup like this to come in and save the day. Do I think Arman Tsarukyan deserves any type of fight that will reward him a belt? No, I fucking don't. Why does Arman Tsarukyan get to weasel his way back into the top of lightweight again? His only win in the last 2 years is Dan Hooker, who's about to be live executed by Saladin Parnasse in France. He's a joke of a fighter. He's incredibly skilled, but he's wasting his prime. And I'm kind of tired of him just frolicking around with Nina Drama, Neon, all these content creators. Like, that is literally the opposite of a BMF. I'm losing my mind. Charles Oliveira is arguably like the GOAT at lightweight right now. Like, after what Justin Gaethje did to Ilya, like, I have to rethink everything. Look at what Oliveira did to Gaethje. Masterclassed him and murdered him in one round. So Oliveira deserves better than this, man. He should get a title fight. Gaethje's even said he wants to rematch Oliveira, so like, please just make that happen, man. And like, that can be Gaethje's retirement fight. I don't care, but since when is a Dan Hooker win in 2026 enough to get you a UFC title? Like, we just saw Paddy Pimblett invent a new submission on Benoit Saint Denis, who destroyed Dan Hooker. So like, we can even go into MMA math. Like, this matchup makes no fucking sense. Charles Oliveira has been putting in absolute work in the lightweight division, coming off wins over Mateusz Gamrot and Max Holloway, which are quite honestly two of the most underrated lightweight wins right now. We know Gamrot, Gamer Nation, is a hard worker, has put in like 4 fights since Arman Tsarukyan's last fight. Tsarukyan turned him down, by the way. Gamrot asked for a rematch, and Arman said, nah, I want to just go make bank in the RAF. All good. Arman, while you've been working on your streaming career and getting frisky with Nina Drama, blowing your damn back out, literally losing out on your title fight, all that legacy over scripted little skits with Nina meant for children, Oliveira's been in the trenches. Yeah, sure, he got knocked out by Ilya Topuria brutally, but like Ilya said before he was sunned by the copper baby Justin Gaethje, the scars make the man. Oliveira's been in the trenches, putting on great performances. While you are in the RAF, Real American Freestyle, that's another element to this. Like, Arman, you've been wrestling, dog. You've been losing to Colby Covington in the RAF. Boosting that promotion, like, I guess? I mean, it's your career, do what you want, but these savages in the lightweight division are waiting for you. I mean, Holloway, Fiziev, Rufy, Gamrot, these guys are putting in work in their careers. Pure violence every time. Arman Tsarukyan, you need takedowns to win. You don't have submissions. All good. You're a phenomenal fighter. You could even be champion if you locked in and like put the reps in like a Gamrot, your father. I'm sorry. The first fight these two had with each other was quite honestly cinema. I mean, people weren't a fan of Arman winning the fight basically by escaping submission attempts, but he put on a lot of good offensive work with like the ground and pound, and to be fair, he did escape every single submission attempt from Oliveira. That's not easy to do, okay? Clearly made a good argument to win rounds 2 and 3. I get that. But like I said, the optics were terrible. And I hate Arman, so I actually think Oliveira won the fight. It's really one of the closest fights ever because it creates this argument of how much are we going to value locked-in submission attempts like Oliveira had on Arman with the guillotine in the first round and at the end of the third, where Arman was saved by the bell, by the way. He goes out cold, face first on the canvas, if we're going by like Joe Rogan house rules. No time limit on a basketball court, so I don't know, it feels weird to give Arman round 3 when he's almost like lifeless out cold in a choke. Oliveira, it's not a good performance by him, and he still almost won. He needed to let go of that guillotine and try to get on top of Arman and just win with position. My heart says Oliveira by submission, but at the end of the day, it's a grappling fight, and that favors Arman heavily. Even if Oliveira is like the most dangerous grappler ever, Tsarukyan is just kind of a wizard at out-scrambling guys, getting out of submissions. He's just so athletic. I'm convinced he can just like gator roll out of anything. So I know this fight's only rumored right now, but I can actually see the UFC going with it just because of how like badly the McGregor comeback went. Like, I mean, we had 16, or was it 60 million live viewers watching International Fight Week, which was cinema. It was an amazing fight card, but it was just soured by Conor McGregor, man, who just can't be trusted anymore. So let's get you guys a breakdown on this one. No official pick yet. Insanely close fight, but I actually think Arman Tsarukyan is sort of like a nightmare matchup for Oliveira, only because Oliveira is all about that BJJ, right? That's his roots. So we know he's going for opportunistic submissions. He wants to submit Arman. Arman sort of baits you with that. He's a big position over submission guy, all about that scramble. We saw him win scrambles in the first fight against Oliveira. As you can see, accuracy, I have on the side of Oliveira. He's a fucking sharpshooter. I know we don't get to see it often. We don't really get to see, like, Oliveira's grappling game is so dynamic and so deadly, and his takedowns are so efficient, his control. Sometimes we just don't get to see Oliveira's striking, but it's beautiful, man. Shoot to box base. He goes for front kicks to the face. Super aggro. I love Oliveira's striking, and it gets overlooked because he's been knocked out a couple times, and he often is going for submission and spending a lot of time on the ground, but his striking's better than Arman. He goes neck and neck, head to head, toe to toe with Arman when it comes to cardio, physical conditioning. He is hittable. You know, the way Oliveira stands, I don't know if he's got laser surgery on his eyes yet, but he used to be one blind motherfucker. Used to just waltz into short range and eat shots on the chin, on the guard, because he was half blind. What can you do? Very hittable fighter, Oliveira, always has been. Oliveira takes the cake when it comes to fight IQ, grappling IQ, what we would call UFC IQ. I mean, Charles Oliveira has been in the UFC since his early 20s. He is an absolute hitman. If you're not a fan, there's something wrong with you. But the sad reality of this fight is that if you're a wrestler and you don't fear the grapple game of Oliveira, the takedowns come easy. The control time comes easy. Like Islam Makhachev, Arman Tsarukyan, these are top wrestlers in the world. They are strong enough to take down Oliveira. Like, at the end of the day, Max Holloway ain't got no grappling, okay? Ain't got no wrestling. Like, he's got takedown defense, but eventually you need more than that. You have to be able to offensively wrestle a wrestler, a grappler, to have success. And Arman's willing to do that. He is an absolute tank. He has great scrambles, power punches, but like the rest of them, he does suffer from main character syndrome. He's been rocked before, dropped before, KO'd on the regional scenes, so he is a cocky motherfucker. Inactive. I hope he does get finished here. I just don't want to see him with the BMF belt, man. What a joke that would be. He spent the last few years frolicking with streamers on Kick. What a joke. You are not a martial artist. How about you stay in the RAF? As always, thank you guys for watching. UFC Serbia breakdowns are dropping tomorrow. And the main event's actually fire. We got the violent Ian Gary, who's not a cuck, Uros Medic, against post-prison D-Rod. The return is here. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all real soon.